Now, this is exciting. Days after taking a leave of absence from the Canucks, we get a huge update on not only goaltender Kevin Lankinen, but Patrik Allvin announces multiple moves to this team, with one key player coming up from the Abbotsford Canucks, and he can completely shift things for this Canucks team moving forward. We're going to break down this update on a player coming from the Abbotsford Canucks and an update on Kevin Lankinen that has fans raving. We have so much to break down this episode, and you're not going to want to miss it. So let's just go straight into it today, where we get multiple updates around the Canucks team. Now, the first one I want to touch on was Jiri Patera has been reassigned to the Abbotsford Canucks. Now, with this, we know the goaltender Nikita Tolopilo has been standing on his head the past two games, losing versus the San Jose Sharks, but having a really good showing versus the Anaheim Ducks going into his first game. Now, going into Tolopilo, I want to touch on this before getting into Kevin Lankinen, because what we've seen from the young 6'6" Belarus goaltender has been outstanding. 25 years old, 2 games this season, an .892 save percentage. The save percentage on itself doesn't look the best, but what we've seen from Tolopilo shows how bright of a future this kid has going through the Canucks system, and showing if the Canucks continue to deal with injuries to Thatcher Demko, who is still not with and on the ice for this team. But with Kevin Lankinen, we have a goaltender in Abbotsford that can take the step, jump into this lineup, and get you a win like we've seen versus the Ducks when we watched one of the funnest games we've seen this season. And listen, it's not only me, a lot of people on social media. Nikita Tolopilo has some of that Carey Price calmness, where it doesn't look like he even has to try that hard, because he's usually so well positioned due to his enormous size. Square and composed on angles, and he says, please don't take this, that Tolopilo is Price. But listen, if he turns into Carey Price, we would love this. But I want to give some flowers to Tolopilo on how he stood up for this Canucks team over the stretch, of course, losing a game and winning a game when he came back from an injury, as he didn't even get a lot of reps with the Abbotsford Canucks this year, only having 5 games played and 2 with the Canucks for 7 total games on the season. Now, going into this, we do get an update and the possible starting goaltender going into tonight's game in Kevin Lankinen as he rejoined this team. Now, listen, getting Kevin Lankinen back, the workhorse, one of the best signings. His numbers, once again, do not look incredible, but if you had a team right now and it was Thatcher Demko out and you didn't have Kevin Lankinen to step in to secure the backup spot, this is a Canucks team that would lose a lot more games. Now, with Kevin Lankinen, a lot of people hate the contract itself, but a .902 save percentage with the Canucks, this is great. What we're seeing from Kevin Lankinen this season is the exact reason why the Canucks give the goaltender $4.5 million to be that 1B goaltender or the starting goaltender when they need to see him step in. But quickly, fans, what is your thoughts? I know Jiri Patera being sent down is going to get a lot of starts with the Abbotsford Canucks. Having one game, he got lit up versus the Florida Panthers, but what is your guys' thoughts on Kevin Lankinen to come back? Do you think there's a future with Tolopilo in this organization to maybe someday become a starting goaltender or a backup to one of their own? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But let's go straight into the second part of the move. And one of my favorite, listen, if you're not new to the channel, you know Jonathan Lekkerimaki is one of my favorite players, was one of my favorite prospects, now a player with the Canucks in this team. Now, going into this, Dave Hall spoke on this quite a bit. Jonathan Lekkerimaki came in cold and instantly added some serious offensive boost for the Abbotsford Canucks. 3 goals and a point per game through 5 games, along with 20 shots. He was dangerous as can be. He's going up. He needs to be utilized on the power play. Now, Jonathan Lekkerimaki was drafted because of his shot. We've seen this in the SHL with Abro HK on how good this kid's shot really is, and we've seen this kind of shown in the NHL. We've seen the preseason, the one-timers that he had. We've seen the goal in the regular season this year, but the big thing is getting Jonathan Lekkerimaki in 21 games, and once again, the -4. We know the Abbotsford Canucks, I believe it's 1 regulation win this season, as they've been struggling with injuries, but seeing Jonathan Lekkerimaki come in after shoulder injury, joining the Abbotsford Canucks, going a point per game, putting up to 3 points. We've seen the goals so far this season. His career high of 6 points in 24 games with the Canucks. I think this is the perfect opportunity for Adam Foote to get him farther up in the lineup. Now, we know with the Canucks, there's a lot of names on the open market. Kiefer Sherwood is reportedly being shopped by the Canucks. We know of Vander Kane. There's so many guys on this team that are possible pieces to be moved, and I think that moves Jonathan Lekkerimaki farther and farther up, and getting him on this power play is going to be a big boost boost for not only his production, but for the team as a whole. Now, looking at this, they have him projected on the second unit, but I would not be opposed to trying him on this top unit. Now, there's a lot of players you don't want to take off. I mean, Quinn Hughes, Brock Boeser, we know how good Jake DeBrusk has been on this power play, and it's weird to say that maybe Conor Garland going to the second unit might be what the Canucks end up. But I would not be opposed to trying Jonathan Lekkerimaki on that top unit, trying to get some more out of his game. Listen, I think he's an incredible player. I think there's a lot to love. We know how good the shot is. We've seen the stick twirl in the shootout just last season, but what we're seeing from Jonathan Lekkerimaki, a very young player, keep in mind, still 21 years old, I think there's a lot of potential, a 20-goal season in his future, but utilizing his game, something that Rick Tocchet never really did, and going into even more of this, we can see from Josh, and listen, check out all these guys. They do awesome coverage on the Canucks. They were talking on the People Show last night about seeing Lekkerimaki on the top power play. I think if his games are, you just lean into using him in as many offensive spots as possible. Plus, he's a better fit on the left wall than Garland. Now, I do like Conor Garland, and I do like that Lekkerimaki is getting the second unit, but I want to see how much this kid can develop and grow on this Canucks team. Listen, there's a very bright future for him on this team. The clip's about to play in a second where we're seeing him in the shootout. What we're seeing is a top prospect on the Canucks, second behind Tom Villander, who has been outstanding. A full video is coming on him tomorrow, so keep your eye out for that as well. But fans, the biggest thing is they're going into a stretch of games. They have the game versus the LA Kings tonight, going into a terrible run of having to play in the Colorado Avalanche, the Utah Mammoth, the Minnesota Wild, who just beat the Avalanche in a shootout. There's a lot of tough games coming up on this Canucks schedule. You have Kevin Lankinen back. I think with the Canucks kind of dropping in the standings game after game, they're going to win, they lose a game. Other teams get a couple wins, dropping a bit. I want to see the Canucks win, but I think this is where you can really experiment. Listen, if you're going out and Jonathan Lekkerimaki can look like a 20 or 30 goal scorer this season, maybe you start to feel a little better from moving on from veteran players. Maybe Evander Kane gets shopped a little faster. Whatever it might be, fans, what is your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts on Kevin Lankinen coming back and Jonathan Lekkerimaki returning to the Canucks after shoulder injury, going down to Abbotsford, lighting it up, and returning? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And speaking on comments, let's go into comment of the day. Has Sasson got a chance at 2C? He's on a 20-goal pace with only about 10 minutes per game. Carlson is the same boat. And listen, I wanted to touch on this because Max Sasson, sorry, I'm going to say it wrong a bunch, has been playing incredibly, and it's going to be interesting when this Canucks gets younger and have more centers. I love Sasson down the middle, a guy that can join this bottom six, but it would be interesting. I'd rather see him at the 2C other than David Kampf, but let me know what your ideal lines for this Canucks team is. Who do you want to see traded? Do you think Jonathan Lekkerimaki should be put into the top six? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments, and you can be featured on Comment of the Day. Fans, listen, I want to cover anything and everything you guys want to see, so if that's live streams, prospects, game recaps, live or watch-alongs, anything like that, let me know down in the comments. But that will be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Listen, go spam Jonathan Lekkerimaki in it. Is he going to score his goal in his first game back? Is he going to be a 30-goal scorer in the near future? Let me know all this down below. But that'll be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode, so keep your eye for that. But I've been your host, Mark, and take care. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and soon to be married.